Hi guys, welcome to another session on Cucumber. My name is Karanbir Singh. Guys, initially we decided to take these three topics in one go, but then we have decided to break them down into three different videos. So now the next part is understanding the feature file. Let's start understanding what is feature file. Guys, this screenshot we saw in the first part as well, where we had briefly discussed about the keywords like scenario, given, when, then, feature. So let's understand them in a lot more detail. I'll quickly move on to Visual Studio Code, and this is where we left. We installed Gherkin Cucumber extension. So I'll just quickly close this and move to the folder structure. So guys, in the folder structure, you can see that I have a source folder, and under source folder, I have created two more folders, which is feature and step definitions. Currently, they are completely empty, but these have been made so that I can keep the segregations between all the feature files and all the step files. So let's start creating a new file. Let me just add a new feature file, and I'll name it as login with an extension of .feature. Right, so as soon as I did, we can see that the file got created. And now let's start writing it. So the first keyword that we would be talking about is feature. So guys, this is what the extension helps us with. It gives us the, we can say, suggestion, and I can also read out what suggestion it gave. Insert feature, Cucumber Gherkin, full eye support, feature name, and some description. So let's do this. So you see, it gave me the suggested that I need to mention here feature name, and I can also give some feature descriptions. So I'll just remove this. So guys, feature is, we can say, a working of a functionality. Like we can call login as a feature, login page as a feature, registration page as a feature. These are the different features that we can test, right? So we are going to talk about Amazon application, and let's talk about the login feature of Amazon. So I'll quickly write, as a user, I should be able to log in into the application. So this is the feature that I'm going to create, right? This is the feature that I'm going to automate. Now in a feature, we can have multiple scenarios. So again, scenario is a keyword. Again, it gave me the suggestion and it says to enter a scenario name. So guys, if I talk about login page, I can have further two more scenarios. One is where the user has successfully logged in, and the other one would be where the user is unable to log in. So we'll try and cover both of them, but let's start understanding it with the positive flow, which is where a user is able to log in. So I'll just quickly write, as a user, I am able to log in into the application with my credentials, right? So this is how we prepare a scenario. Now, next is, then we have is given. So guys, given is a precondition for this scenario, right? So for me to execute this scenario, there will always be one precondition, and that one precondition will always come in the given keyword. Like for me to be on the login page, I need the URL to be working, right? So that is what is a prerequisite for this scenario, and that is what I will write in the given section. I'll say URL of the application should be open, right? This is given is the first prerequisite. Then we have when. We write the next keyword is when. So when is the first action? When is the first action that I will take? Now in this case, the user has already opened the URL, and now the next action should be the user navigates to the login page. This is the next step, right? So this is the first action that as a user I took. Now comes the next part, which is then. So I'm sorry, I'll just add it in the next line. I'll write here then. And now this is going to be the outcome, right? This is going to be the outcome, or maybe we can say we can add one more action step. So I say URL of the application is open. When the user navigates to the login page, then the user enters his or her credentials, and let's say username will give a hyphen. And guys, whatever input data I want to enter, I need to put them under quotes. So let's say username is John, right? So I'll enter that in the double quotes, and I say password as, let's say we'll say the password is random. So right, this is how we enter the input data, right? We'll understand over if you're not able to understand what is an input data. Basically, input data is something that I would be entering on the UI, right? This is the value that will get entered in the tag of username. Let's quickly open. I'll try and show it to you. Let me just open Amazon. So I've opened Amazon. So we say the first given is that the URL of the application should be open. The next one is that I should be on this page. So here we enter the email or let's say phone number. So let's not write John. Let's write a random phone number. Let's write 12345, right? So this is the phone number. So this is 1234567 will get entered here in the Amazon application, and then password in the next input box. So the input which has to be delivered to the UI is something we tend to enter in the quotes, right? So guys, if there is one more, then like I said, then the user enters his or her credential with username this and password random. I can also use then keyword again, and I can also replace it with an and. So if we have multiple actions to perform, if there are multiple then or when which are being created, it is better to replace them with an and. Though there is no harm in using multiple then and when, but then it is recommended to replace them with an and. So then I'll say now I'll tell the outcome. What is the outcome that I'm expected? The outcome is the user should be logged in. And this is where I'll tend to enter my assertion. This is where I'll validate whether this scenario got passed or not, right? So given is the precondition that I require for this scenario. When is the first action that I will perform. Then is the subsequent action or an outcome, right? Guys, please do remember the last then should always be the outcome that we are looking for in the specific scenario. Right, so this is where we understood the basic keywords, we can say. Let's understand few more. We have few more keywords, like if I write S, I can see I have another keyword which says scenario outline. So let's understand what is scenario outline. So now we are going to take the negative scenario where I'll say as a user I am not able to log in into the application with my credentials. So guys, we have understood this. So I'll just quickly copy this and paste it below. But we'll learn another new keyword, and that is examples. Let me show you how we are going to use examples and what is the purpose of example. So I'll just write here name and password, and after and I'll write a keyword which is, you can see I got as examples. So guys, as soon as I click, it generated a table. This is called a data table, a table which contains a set of values. So guys, data table is the set of data that I want to enter for this specific scenario, right? Let me just clear this, make it a little more clean so that you guys can understand it better. Let me just give some spacing to make it better looking so that we can segregate, and let me just format this. So guys, for you to format, you can press this Alt A to select everything, and then you can press this Alt Shift and F. If you press Alt plus Shift plus F, it will format your page. Right. So guys, we were talking about the keyword examples. So this is used where I want to enter a set of data for a whole scenario and I want that scenario to be repetitive. By the term repetitive, you'll understand this, right? Don't worry. So what I'll do is I have changed the username and I've given it as name, and I've changed password and I've written it as password. So guys, I'm mapping it. By mapping, I mean I will write here name and I will write here password. By this, what I mean is now I'm telling the code, whenever you see name, just come here in the example section and read the values. Like if I write here John and I'll just write here random, right? So whenever this scenario will start getting executed, it will come, when it will read the line then and reach at the point name, it will come here and it will read the first value, which is John, and for password it will read the password value, which is random. Now guys, the need for us to do this is, if I want to execute this scenario for let's say 5 times, then either what I can do is I can copy this whole scenario, paste it down 5 different times, right, and have 5 different set of data, but then that is not which is recommended. What is recommended and what is a better approach is to make it as a scenario outline, and in scenario outline we can use the keyword examples. So guys, this is very important to understand that examples keyword can only be used when we are writing scenario outline. And this example keyword is used to define multiple set of data. Like for example, we explained here name as John, password as random. We can add another set of data. Now we'll be adding a pipe, which is, this is the key which is just present above enter. This is called as a pipe. And we're going to enter, and let's say I'll write Smith in this, right? In the name section, I'll write Smith and I'll say password is random1. So this is the password. And so guys, now what I'm looking for, and the reason why I've used examples keyword is because I want to run this complete scenario. By complete scenario, I mean I want to run given, when, then, and for the first set of data, which is John, right? So what will happen is, given the URL of the application is open, some actions will be performed to open the application, then some actions would be performed to navigate to the login page, then the user will enter his name and password, and in place of name John will be sent to the UI, and in place of password random1 would be sent to the application, and then the user is logged in. So this is the first execution that will happen. The browser will get closed. Now the another execution will begin, and that will happen for the second set of data, which is Smith and random1. Again the given keyword will work, then when will work, then will go, and then and will be executed. So guys, the complete scenario will get executed in case we use the example keywords and we define the set. So as I said earlier, if I had to perform this same action 5 times, I would obviously use examples, right, keyword, so that I need not write the same scenario again and again. I need not copy paste the same scenario again and again. I will just write this scenario once and I'll just mention it with the different set of data. Like if I mention here another set of data, and then it will get executed for the third time as well. If I write here, let's say Alex, and I say random2, no worries. And I'll just add the pipe to close it. So guys, we need to be very specific with the pipes. Let's say if there are 2 columns, we need to add 3 pipes. This is the opening of the pipe and this is the closing of the pipe. So we need to be very careful with these pipes. So now I have added one more data set, which is Alex and tandem2. So this scenario will get executed thrice, first with John, then with Smith, and then with Alex. So guys, this is the basic difference between the keyword scenario and scenario outline. In scenario, the scenario gets executed only once with the given set of data, whereas in scenario outline, if we have to perform a scenario which is a repetitive scenario or a scenario which has a repetitive data set to perform, let's say, testing with different set of data. I will always use scenario outline and use the examples keyword, and I will define the test data under this examples keyword in this data table in this format, and I will map it. So now let's understand how to map examples, this data table with these keywords. So to map, I'll just have to change them to keywords, and for me to change them to keywords, I need to remove these quotes and I have to add side brackets. So I'll just remove these quotes. Let me just remove the other one as well, and you'll see that the color of the keyword just got changed, and the reason is because now it has been converted into a keyword. And by keyword we mean is I'm mapping this word to this and password to the password present in the data table. So by this, whenever the then line will get executed, it will automatically map itself to these keywords. So whenever the then line will get executed, it will come to the name section and it will come down to this table and start reading the data which is present under this column, which is under name, which is John, and as soon as it reaches to the password, it will start reading the data which is present under the password keyword, which is random one. So guys, this is the exact purpose why we use scenario outline. If I want to execute the same scenario for all this set of data, that is three different set of data, I want to execute this scenario 3 times, then this is how I will map them. I'll just change the quotes to side brackets, and I'll have the same letter or same keyword present in the data table as well to map it back. So guys, this is how easy it is to create feature files, and I think the biggest advantage of creating a feature file is, as you can see, that we have just written English in this. So these are just English written keyword sentences which anybody, a technical or a non-technical person, both can understand. So this is the biggest advantage of using any feature file or creating any feature file. So this is it, guys. I hope it made some sense. It was helpful for you. Thank you so much, guys.